Hey there, Holly Hill. It is Elijah here. Thank you for watching this video. Happy Thursday, everyone. Normally, these videos are sermon previews of what's coming for this upcoming Sunday. This week, this video is not going to be that because I'm not going to preach this upcoming Sunday. We're going to have Stephen Yeager preach for us this upcoming Sunday, and so I hope you come to hear that. He'll do a great job. But in the meantime, I just want to leave you with a little spiritual thought from Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 20. This is the passage where Peter confesses Jesus as the Christ. And as we read this, I want you to think to yourself, who am I confessing Jesus to be based off of my life? If someone looked at my life, who would they see that I am confessing Jesus to be? Because we all have to confess that Jesus is someone or something. What is it that our lives confess Jesus to be? So let's read this together, Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 20. It says, "Now when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, 'Who do people say that the Son of Man is?' And they said, 'Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets.' And he said to them, 'But who do you say that I am?' Simon Peter answered, 'You are the Christ, the Son of the living God.' And Jesus answered him, 'Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell, or Hades, shall not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven.' Then he strictly charged the disciples to tell no one that he was the Christ." So here in this passage, Peter confesses that Jesus is the Christ, opposing what the world says about Jesus. This faith then becomes a solid foundation on which Jesus is going to build his church through the apostles. So what do we learn about ourselves in this passage, about humanity, about you and me? Well, I think what we learn here in this passage is that people have to choose who they want to confess Jesus to be in their lives, and that there are many varied opinions and ideas about Jesus, very strong opinions, but true faith and true belief in Jesus does not come from the world. It does not come from man. It comes from the Spirit. Jesus says, "This didn't come from the world, Peter. The fact that you said that I'm the Christ was revealed to you by God, from the Spirit." So we all must answer the question, who is Jesus? And we have to choose to either listen to the world and say Jesus is this or that, or we listen to the Spirit and we say Jesus is the Son of God. That's it. And so what do we learn about God here in this passage? We learn that God is confusing to many people, because the only way to properly understand God and to know who Jesus is to be filled with the Spirit, to have that given to us by God. He reveals himself to those who are open to the Spirit. And we see that God is going to, in the lives of those who are open to receiving his Spirit and understanding him, in the lives of those people, he's going to build his kingdom, his church, in the lives of those who respond to the Spirit and not to the world. And then we also see that he's the destroyer of death and Hades for all those who believe, all those who confess that he is the Christ. So let's conclude with this. How should our lives change this week having read this passage? Well, for Jesus to build his church in our lives, to build up his kingdom in our lives, that's what we want, right? We want Jesus' kingdom to grow in our lives and in the world around us. If we want that kingdom, that church to grow, to be built up, then we have to not listen to the world about who Jesus is. But we have to welcome God to reveal his true character and his true nature to us through the Holy Spirit. And we need to confess his name and build everything in our lives upon this foundational truth, upon this rock, if you will, like Jesus said, upon this rock, he's going to build his church. Everything in our lives should be built on the rock of the solid foundation about the true understanding of who Jesus is, based off of the truth revealed by the Spirit. So, I want to leave you with one question, which is, how does your life confess Jesus? Think about it. If somebody were to look at your life right now, who would they think that you believe Jesus to be based off of what you do, what you say, how you act, where you go, how you treat people, what you prioritize, what you spend your money on, what you spend your time on? What does your life confess about Jesus? Let's confess him as the Christ so that he can build the church in our lives. We love you all, and we hope to see you this upcoming Sunday at 10 a.m. for Bible class and then 11 a.m. for worship, where our brother Stephen is going to preach for us. We hope to see you there. We love you all. Bye-bye.